Okay, so the first map we're going on is Lijiang Tower.
Yep.
Let's make sure.
Let's do intro.
Are we going for an intro of some kind?
Let's do intro. Let's go intro. Alright.
Okay.
Welcome to the North American Scrub Cup OverPUGS. The OverPUGS is an event in which players are randomly sorted into teams. They are SR balanced, and then they are pit against each other in 6-on-6 scrim-style matches. My name is HaVee, and today I'll be casting with Third.
Hey, I'm Third. So this is essentially a miniature version of the Scrub Cup, but without the limits of SR. So there are some high-ranked players in here. There's some low-ranked players in here. We're putting it all together into teams. See who wins. It's gonna be good.
So as Third said previously, our first map, as you can see live on stream, is Lijiang Tower. And looks like the teams are going to be picking out each other's comps. So on the side of Hyperdimension, we have Penetration, Nightfrog, Loki Doki, Escape, Damas, and Walrus Effect. On the other side, that is Dragon Bells Z. We have Eggs, Eta Fate Mate, Implicit, Adrist, Belsema, and Drops. Some interesting comps being picked up. A Bastion from Drops. Belsema was hovering the hands off for a second, but
are you sure we're live?
Yeah, we are. Delay.
Is it a delay? How much of a delay?
5 minutes.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So we see some interesting picks coming out here. First, we have on the side of Hyperdimension, we have a Junkrat, which is very uncommon pick. And in addition to that, on the other side, we have Drops playing a Bastion who just sits up top and tries to spray down the opponent.
We saw Drops take out Damas on the Hanzo there, and also Walrus Effect gets knocked deep out of mech there. Slept twice in this fight already.
Yeah, Drops is getting continuously slept. They need to pause.
Penetration picking off Eggs in the Nightfrog, picking off Belsema on the Mercy with a final boot. Drops still being uncontested, being shot at but not being killed.
Hold on.
That's on the point.
Someone's ping is currently 500. I need to pause, and my pause is not working for some reason.
So we have a point win from the side of Hyperdimension, forcing
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z to disengage after a kill from Penetration on 2 enemy team. And now
Yeah, so we have from the Dragon Ball Z, the Bastion comp seems to be doing some work. It's not doing as much as they would like because the Lisma appears to be standing still a lot of the time, possibly because of the ping issues they were talking about earlier. Yeah, they DC'd. I'm pausing this.
So we did see in that particular fight, Damas getting some lovely kills into the Bastion after Walrus Effect dived in, DM'd the Bastion, the Rhine turned around to swing, and Damas completely shredded the team when the Rhine shield was down. And then I think we also see Loki Doki in there doing his best to tickle onto the Bastion, onto Drops, stopping him from being as effective as he really wanted to.
Yeah, the Hanzo is being really effective, especially since the Bastion is a very non-mobile target, very easy to hit shots on, especially with your high damage Bastion. But similar to the Hanzo, the Junkrat is also coming out, which is doing a lot against the Bastion as well, managing to spam out the Bastion, do a lot of damage to him in damage that you really just can't avoid, which is the main way to counter Junkrat or Hanzo in the first place.
And it looks like the Mercy main Belsema is back, I believe. She was actually quite close to her
back.
Ult on Mercy. And looking at ults from the side of Hyperdimension, it's a massive ult advantage. 96%, 90%, 97%, and 98% to their ults. That's Hanzo, Winston, Lucio, and Junkrat all being very close with SK on the Ana already having her ult. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have Drops and Eta Fate Mate near to their ults. That's Zarya and Bastion both having their ults available soon. Looks like we're going to be unpausing now, though.
Yeah, we're unpausing since Melisma is getting back in the game.
And it looks like they're playing very offensively. The side of Hyperdimension, literally outside their spawners, drops his Bastion, tries to stay alive, tries to kill Nightfront. He takes a knocker and Loki It's going to give it quite a large...
Yeah, Drop's getting 2 kills in the beginning of this fight. Usually that wouldn't be that effective since his team's dead, but they're coming right back. Because now the Blizma's back, they might be able to get a fight here. The Zarya's off alone. Here comes the Junkrat here, picking up the Mercy.
Picks off Mercy, but meanwhile we saw Driss take up interaction while he was mid-tire. And now the side of Dragon Ball Z taking the light room as Drops uses Bastion or trying to get some food. Dubs is going to be possibly the Ember Diva going on the flank. He does pick up SK.
Hanzo ult comes out, looks like it's not going to pick up much, going to do a bit of damage. Meanwhile, Drops picks up 2 with his ult. That's probably going to win the fight for them.
We also see a very...
Maybe not. Oh, a nice scatter arrow comes out from Dumbass and a headshot.
A headshot onto the Zenyatta from Implicit and a scatter arrow onto his
Dumbass is in a bad spot. He might go down here, but looks like Hyperdimension's up in this fight. He gets a nano boost. He cuts through the enemy team. They're going on. They're all
going into the Hanzo. Even a bit of BM with another boost. And now they only have 5%, 6% to get back on this point. They do have a Graviton Surge, and they do have a Reinhardt Earthshot available.
Yeah, they're not even going to touch the point.
Ada Fitmate didn't actually hit a Graviton that entire game. I believe in the last North American OverPUGS, we saw him hit some amazing grabs, not getting open into lead. That might be because of the Reinhardt pick and him not getting work, or possibly the Bastion, maybe not getting as much as he'd like to see.
Yeah, looks like they're going to switch over to Winston and switch Drops to a Soldier, a Driss to a Tracer. They're going for a very traditional Winston Diva dive comp. Actually, never mind. Drops is going to go to a Reaper instead of a Soldier, trying to focus on that close range damage, try and deal more with Winston and Diva to keep jumping in on them, try to perhaps be a little bit less have a little bit less trouble with Junkrat and Hanzo that were spamming him out earlier. Especially with the Diva, they'll be able to use Defense Matrix to soak up a lot of that damage. We'll see how it turns out for them.
We're going to be seeing both teams marching their way to the point now. Dumbass kind of want to flank and claw, yeah, but other than that, the entire team is fighting right in that point. Both Winston's diving in, trying to get onto the back line, right now they're taking each other. Ada Fitmate gets the first in the fight, getting a kill penetration, but meanwhile, Dumbass does pick off X and knocks AFA out, and I guess both tanks really disabled for the side.
And we have Blizma DC'd again.
Another DC.
Same person. Looks like they've been having some internet issues. Probably, definitely part of the reason why Hyperdimension has a massive advantage right now.
We did see Dumbass disable and pick off both of the tanks for the side of Dragon Ball Z, disabled very, very quickly. We're also seeing Implicit getting excruciatingly low on that Zenyatta. He's going to probably end up dying to Loki Doki on the Wisdom. But it looks like the unpause is happening and be back right back into this fight, and as I say it, Implicit dies straight away, and Ada Fitmate is really the only one left. Same Diva, never mind, Drops and Driss both left. And Driss possibly could be trickled here by SK if he hits another sleep bar. Looks like he will be escaping. Never mind, does actually get picked up by Loki Doki. That's going to be a massive trickle for the side of Hyperdimension. It's going to really slow down Dragon Ball Z's offensive.
They're going to have to regroup for a little while before they manage to get back now that the Driss died late.
We're going to be seeing the side of Dragon Ball Z really pushing over this left side, trying to push over the cliff edge, but they are being harassed by Loki Doki and Wolves.
Now that boosted Hanzo comes out.
But look at that! Loki Doki gets boosted off
the map
by Ada Fitmate and a Hanzo ult from, I believe, Dumbass. Can't get anything as Eggs picks off SK in the courtyard, and now they're making it move to point. Dragon Ball Z getting some newfound momentum here. Wolves are getting back to mid, but it might be too little too late. But Penetration does also pick up drops, it could equalize the fight. And he also picks up Blizzard. Penetration getting 2 kills here on this Junkrat. 3 kills on the Junkrat.
As well. That's a lot of kills for the Junkrat. Looks like their team's going to win this fight. Pulse bomb from Adris tries to take it back. It's not going to work.
Ada Fitmate also
it's just Ada Fade left from this point.
Well.
He's going to die very shortly. There goes his mech.
Has support from drops, but it looks like he might be trickle, but he does sneak away with Wraithful. This does pick off Nightfrag, and now we're seeing another Junkrat. Can't get anything penetration. Can't get any kills with that Riptide, and now Penetration playing very offensively, quite far pushed up as the
Hanzo coming out, also not going to pick up anything. Looks like Junkrat's a little bit out of position right now. He goes down to the...
Shut down, but Bill Seema gets killed by Loki Doki in his primal rage, and now it's still an even fight, but surely the trade is in favor of the side of Hyperdimension. But after him, SK goes down, still implicit, is now all in favor of Dragon Bells. The drops of Loki Doki, a Drift shuts down the Hanzo from Dumbass, a Tranquility from Implicit to keep them alive, but a Diva Bomb comes down. Can I get anything? No, Wolf's Effect
Picks
only
up
gets
Implicit.
Implicit.
However, Dragon Bell still is up in this fight. A reroll comes out, nice, picks up two of them, but he goes down, and a res comes in. I'm not sure if that res was really necessary, as they had already won the fight, and you really need to be saving those ultimates when you're down 99-0. Just one fight takes it back for Hyperdimension, and they'll win this point, and very nearly win the map after that. So they need to be very careful about how they use their ultimates. Keeping a good ultimate economy is crucial to keeping this.
We did see drop go
Lucio
down 2 penetrations right on, but there Lucio kind of got overextended and picked up by Driss, and Eggs picks up the
Lucio jumps in by himself too early. Dumbass about to go down. Maybe not.
Eggs looking for more now. Going on to Dumbass.
Penetration tried to picks up 2 with his Riptire. Doesn't look like it.
Eliminates 2, and now War's Effect being forced out of mech. SK, the Ana gets dived on by Eggs, and now it's War's Effect. And
Lucio's back in the fight. Not in time since he died early in that fight.
Anyone left here, jumping out.
Some late kills coming out. A dragon comes in for some reason. Not sure why. Didn't pick up anything in a fight that they were already kind of losing. Penetration gonna die really late here. That's really unfortunate for the team. It's gonna be at least another 10% before Hyperdimension gets a full regroup here.
And one thing we saw was the ultimate advantage in that last fight was massively in favor of Hyperdimension. I believe they had a Hanzo ult and a Nano Boost.
Yeah, they used 4 ults in that fight, but they did not manage to take it back. And this was compared to the 0 ults used by Dragon Bells over here. Here comes Transcendence. His team's going to be more or less invulnerable while he's using that. They have
and now a self-destruct sequence activated by Ada Fate Mate. That self-destruct getting a lot, getting Nightfrost and War's Effects mech, and it should be able to force some points. Ada Fate Mate gets another kill onto Dumbass. They're now reaching that 90%, and SK go down as well as War's Effects.
88%. Winston jumps in. That was very ill-advised. He's just going to touch. He's going to die. Might not even get
and now it's surely 99, 100. They've won it. They've taken it back. Surely, yes, they have.
Yeah, they've taken it back. There's not much that they could have done there. They were just Winston alive. Yes, this is NA casting.
Remember your training?
Looks like they're going to be keeping more or less the same comps here. Dragon Bells liking how it turned out in that last map, taking out other team a couple different times to take that sub-map of Lijiang Tower. Looks like the Hyperdimension's going to be running the Pharah, which they didn't run earlier. Actually, never mind. They switched, instead of who was playing the Pharah earlier, Nightfog. Nightfog is switching to Mercy to partner up with Loki Doki, who's playing Pharah. The Pharah-Mercy combo might be extremely strong coming into this next point.
SK.
Adrist already dead to SK. That's unfortunate.
And War's Effect picks up Seema as well. That's 2 down for the side of Dragon Bells. And now Dumbass also picking off Eggs. That's 3 down for the Dragon Bells now.
Yeah, it's early take for Hyperdimension. Dragon Bells is going to have a hard time taking this back, considering it the early ult advantage that Hyperdimension's gotten, especially in Dumbass's Dragons. Penetration goes down, but not before Dumbass takes out a Driss, so they're still even in this fight. This could go either way. Winston's kind of in on his own on Dragon Bell's side. Yeah, he goes down. Diva's going to try and get out because
Fate Mate very low. Being held by Seema though.
He knows he's not in his zone.
We have someone contesting the point.
Drops dies, but Loki Doki picks up drops, but Dumbass has a big dragon come out, picks up 2. That's going to be the fight going to Hyperdimension. Hyperdimension's 3 DPS plus a Diva comp looks like it's working out pretty well for them. Drop switching over to the McCree instead of the Reaper that he was on. that probably will help him out deal with the Pharah a bit as Adris switches to Pharah to combo with the Mercy.
Just flying up high here. Hasn't got the Mercy on him, but he does have Zenyatta to try and give him some sustain. Mercy finally flies to keep him alive, but SK, meanwhile, on the bridge,
SK gets another boom. SK definitely one of the standout players for Hyperdimension these days.
Also, another boot from SK. He does get booped himself, but
after he picks up drops.
On that, McCree gets taken down. And it looks like it's still going in favor of
Heroes never die.
As penetration goes in, instantly res by Nightfog as AFMate jumps off the edge. A Diva Bomb comes out from AFMate, can't get anything though. And they're breaking it down. That's SK's big trying to keep penetration alive. And now we have the Winds not coming out from X. Can he get anything? He's on SK trying to hammer him about. And now a Junkrat Tower penetration as well. Can't get anything as the Zenyatta comes out from him to keep himself alive. Now
Zenyatta's ult comes out just to stall on the point for a little bit longer as Belisma comes back in. She has the res. She could get a lot of people back up in this fight if she managed to stay alive just with that teammates. Really hard to say how this will turn out. However, Belisma is taking a lot of damage. She's going to go down to penetration. However, it looks like Hyperdimension gave up the point a bit. They pushed off the point to try and pick up the kill on Belisma, while the whole time allowing Dragon Bells to rush the point with their higher numbers and kill almost everyone sitting there. Dragon Balls up in this fight. They're gonna take this in a moment or two, unless Loki
picks up
rocket barrage. That's actually a really nice rocket barrage. That'll allow his team to come back in really
fast. Penetration picks off 2 with a Junkrat trap as well. Forces Adris to have to use his barrage to keep himself alive and keep this point alive. But now we see Wolves affecting Dumbass back.
It's a 2v2 on the point, just Pharah and Zenyatta on one side and Diva Hanzo on the other. Looks like Diva Hanzo are going to back out a bit, wait for group for 6 people. That's fair, but it also means the other team is going to get 6 people up too.
If we're looking at the ults here, Belsima still has that res available with no other ults really being really close. We do see Drops actually being close to attack by him. He does get shot on by Dumbass, so he can't be able to use it this fight.
Yeah, Walrus Effect gets out of his mech. That would have been really nice if Drops is still alive. He could use his attack visor to kill a lot of people when he wouldn't be able to be shut down by the Diva.
We also saw
SK and Dumbass both pick up.
But now the ults have got a much closer to Ray Fame. He has a Diva Bomb. Can't get him before he gets forced out of mech though. And Belsima gets taken out by SK with that res available. And now a tactical visor from Drops. Can't get anything. He's being tickled by Nightfrog. Completely isolated and gets shut down straight away.
Yeah, Hyperdimension goes back on the point. Penetration. The Lucio goes down. He switched roles with SK as SK went to a soldier and Penetration went to a Lucio.
And we see
Diva Bomb comes out, not going to pick up anything, just zones the enemy team at the point. Meanwhile, capture point is still ticking up for Dragon Bells. They might be down in this fight, but they're going to be stalling out for a lot longer.
Already close to 80%, they can definitely push that test. As AFMA forces towards the Phantasma, but now Diva Bomb from AFMA picks up 2. Loki Doki and Dumbass go down. He dies himself as AFMA, but Drops also picks up a resurrection from Belsima to res AFMA and Adris.
Now it's entirely possible for Dragon Balls to take this point back, take this fight back. Yeah, SK goes down. They only have 2 enemies left alive, Penetration and Nightfrog Winston. Penetration goes down, however.
Loki Doki and Dumbass all available to get prices. Loki Doki reses 2. Now Wolfsmake is forced out of mech, but Dumbass picks off Implicit. Another kill from Dumbass, another headshot onto Drops. Nightfrog on Belsima. Dumbass finally does go down, but AFA mate has put himself way out of position. It's only him and Eggs on point. And Eggs goes down the wins, and AFA mate is in a 1v6 here. Has an assist from Adris. Adris goes down, these falls on the point. A capture for Hyperdimension, they take it.
Going to Hyperdimension.
What a round there, taken to 99.99 from this lovely story. That was a close one.
Now show them. My ultimate is charging.
Going back out to the night market now. Teams seeming to have found what works for them, found the comp that they like to enjoy. found what they think works. We're seeing a
Not quite true. Adrist is going to the Tracer. That's a bit different from the Pharah he was playing earlier. Meanwhile, SK switches from the Soldier to the Pharah, comboing with Loki Toki's Mercy. Nightfog's back on the Winston. This could help him out. The Pharah Mercy could give him a lot of dominance, especially now that Drops is playing Reaper without the hit scan presence of McCree or Soldier 76 to try and pressure that.
And again, both teams are going to the point.
There-
SK straight away.
SK takes out Implicit. He really can't be contested by anything on the enemy team.
He runs the answer our counters, but they can't recover that hit scan. Now SK again picks up those images. Yes, he said he's completely uncontested.
Completely uncontested. I mean, it would even be fine if he was completely uncontested if Ada Fate Mate was able to defense matrix all of his damage, but Ada Fate was really focusing on the ground war, matrixing drops, protecting his Winston from drops, and that Ford ignored the Pharah, which managed to take out Implicit and Bilsima halfway through the fight.
My ultimate is charging.
Quick regroup coming out from Dragon Bells. They're going to be in the point in a few seconds. D.Va still not with her mech. She has quite a lot of percent still in there, making it difficult to get a good fight. Oh,
SK
down goes D.Va.
Down goes
Rocket
was out of mech, but SK does pick her up as the fight begins. Drops force into the background as well. Forces Wraith one very early on. As he does, they're taking down my Walrus effect. And now SK on point by himself. And this fight is already happening outside of a different spawn here. Finally move it to point. Does Dragon Ball do it? They're gonna start getting this test going. We're gonna be seeing SK taking out Implicit. Justice being ran from above, picks up Bilsima. That's both the pulls down to SK, doing so much work. They even need his Mercy at this point. Ada Fate gets forced out of mech as well. He's doing so much work here, he's completely uncontested. No one is shooting at him, he's getting so much work done. Takes out eggs with... My god, SK.
There's just not much the enemy team can do against SK. I'm assuming, yeah, drop switches to the McCree. That might help him out a little bit, but it's not going to solo counter the Pharah and the Mercy unless Ada Fate Mate and Implicit are keeping that Discord on him. Ada Fate needs to be eating all those rockets that are trying to kill the McCree.
And Dumbass!
That's unfortunate.
Dumbass with two!
Picks up two, takes drops down to 1 health, allows SK to pick up the kill. That's already 83%. They're going to have a hard time even touching the point, let alone taking it back.
Dumbass again picked up Implicit. Every single kill here is just one more point of trickling going on and one less person that could be able to touch the point for the side of Dragon Balls, and now they have to be going in, and this is the point win for the side of Hyperdimension.
They jump in early. Elisma with that res, she needs to not die here. She's extremely low health. Elizabeth gets taken out. That res was the last chance that they possibly had, unless this D.Va bomb comes up huge, but I don't think it will. Picks up two. It might be enough.
It's an instant res.
If they live on the point long enough for Elisma to come back and res,
Not living long when SK gets it.
They're all
We see the point taken 3-1 for Hyperdimension. Great play from Hyperdimension there, especially from SK, doing a lot of work on that Pharah, and Dumbass doing a lot of work on that Hanzo.
Heroes never die. Incoming.
Helps SK out and his kill onto Eggs and Fate Mate as well. So, 1-0 up Hyperdimension.
Epic.
Excellent.
So Hyperdimension does take it 1-0, winning that first map. Really great play from players, probably like Dumbass, SK, all doing great work there. We also saw some pretty good play from, I believe it was, if I am not mistaken, Adris got quite a few good picks off there, and Implicit got quite a lot of work done on the Zenyatta also. But anyway,
Dragon Ball gets in that pick. We'll see what map they decide to choose. Hard to say which one they'll decide.
from the comps they've been running, at the beginning they seem to favour a Bastion Reinhardt, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did pick some sort of 2CP map and try and cheese out a defense, possibly against the more dive-centric team of Hyperdimension. But it really depends on what they
want
see fit.
Volskaya.
So 2CP is being picked up. One of those maps where Bastion drops Bastion, which is what they picked originally, and I believe Eggs' Reinhardt is more effective on. Still probably not meta, but better on that map than it is probably on Lijiang Control.
Looks like Dragon Bells is ready. We're still waiting on Dimension. There's Hyperdimension. Looks like we're going to be starting up this map.
And now, Volskaya is really a battle of who can... Battle of Dive versus Cheese is the best guess I have. It's a battle of the dive comp. Probably. Actually, we're seeing with the first offense team, that's Dragon Ball Z, having a pretty interesting comp, picking up a Bastion on the attack, and the defensive side obviously picking up quite a cheesy comp to Hyperdimension, a Torbjorn, a Symmetra, a Mercy, an Orisa, a Junkrat, and a Hanzo. Yeah.
It's very possible that it might work at this level. I mean, this is definitely not the highest level of play of Overwatch, and at levels outside high levels, it's really hard to deal with the stationary turrets of Symmetra, Torbjorn. Really hard to deal with them, especially if they're protected by something like an Orisa, protected by the Junkrat spam, protected by the Hanzo spam. Maybe it's even damage boosted? Who really knows? If this is the comp that they decide to run, this could be a tough nut to crack.
And also, this is a PUG format. It's more difficult to coordinate in PUGs, as you've only seen and played with these people unless you've known them before for possibly maybe 30 minutes at a pinch if you're lucky.
I grow tired.
So you're not going to be coordinated. You're not going to be like an actual team. So it's going to be much more harder to bust through these stall defenses and Symmetras with Torbjorn. You're not going to have the coordinated dive available. But then again, who needs a coordinated dive when you're running Reinhardt and Bastion?
Set up a Reinhardt Bastion against Torbjorn, Orisa. I like it.
It could work, especially against this comp. Drops could really strip with that Orisa and stop all of that protection from really happening. And they are really hunkering down behind this Orisa shield. When they see
It's
the
true, but they're not going to out DPS the Junkrat. They're not going to out DPS the Torbjorn plus the damage boosted Hanzo. It's just not going to happen. That's going to break down a Reinhardt shield under a second or two if they're constantly spamming it correctly. Nightfall goes down to the Bastion. He got picked off early. Once the Driss gets back here, this will be an advantage.
Yeah, we did see SK pick off the Driss with this turret. He went a bit too offensive and did get shut down. SK
SK's
turret
turret
does go
goes
down, but
down.
they still have this pick.
Elizabeth gets trapped,
Driss
she
goes
goes
on
down.
dumbass penetration, goes on C-man. They've kind of opened this fight back up for their team. Drops down, but gets taken out penetration. This Junkrat doing a lot of work on the defensive side. They're not dealing with him, he's getting some free damage off. My brother not playing hyper offensive. Going in deep and does get punished for it. Gets taken out by 8 at Fate Mate, but Implicit goes down to dumbasses. Hanzo ever working hard and ever getting these picks that really slow down Dragon Bells.
Yeah, the Huns is working extremely well for Hyperdimension. Nightfall goes down again, gets picked this time as he switches to the Junkrat off the Genji.
Dumbass! Takes out AF Fate Mate with his Dragon Strike, and SK takes a drop to this turret. They keep getting the picks, but then they're not going enough of them. They're allowing themselves to be picked off by the Hanzo and by the Junkrat. They need to properly engage, and Adris is actually pushing Junkrat as a counter pick, possibly to the Orisa, trying to shred the shield even quicker with the Bastion. And Eggs has also switched to Winston, Implicit going on to the Tracer as well. They're going to a more dive style comp, and now the Junkrats are going very effectively. Adris gets picked off, loses the Junkrat 1v1, and now penetration trapped in with an angry monkey. Can't do much, but X does have to retreat,
Pulls
and
out
now
the
a tire.
Riptide, it's gonna come out,
Picks off
kills
it,
one, instantly res.
Forces a res.
This fight's still even.
But we do see Nightfog's
Never
teleporter
mind.
coming up, and Loki Doki's res, and after SK and Dumbass get implicit, the ults just stack up more and more and more on this defensive side. Meanwhile on the attack, they've made so many switches, they only really have Graviton Surge and no other ults charge. Bastion does switch off the ammo as well.
We're going to need to see a big Graviton Surge. That catches the Mercy. For them even have a chance of taking this point, because they have res, they have a full Symmetra teleporter. I can't possibly see them taking this point unless they
even
do
have
something
Supercharger
really
at
impressive.
bottom 4. When Implicit goes down to Nightfog before you properly engage, the flankers are going in too early and they're getting picked off repeatedly by this comp. And Warriors Effect just hunkering down, spamming Orisa bullets through the choke, Eggs being isolated and shredded through. Gets trapped by penetration, the Zaya shield goes under to keep him alive. Now Dumbass with a dragon, he directly towards drops. They do just survive. And that X goes in, taken out by Nightfall. They're just getting picked off one by one. They're not engaging. What's going wrong, third?
They just don't have the coordination. They can't. They're just walking the Junkrat traps. They're going in one by one and dying repeatedly. They're not doing anything to supplant the massive ult advantage that Hyperdimension has here. I don't think they really have a chance here. They need to make some kind of massive play here with Graviton Surge. Otherwise, they are not going to be able to take this point.
They have nothing to combo with the Graviton Surge because they've just been switching so much. They switch, I believe Implicit has switched around maybe 3 or 4 characters this entire push, and he didn't charge an ult on one of them. And Drops goes down. They have 20 seconds left without an auto. It's going to be so difficult for them to push.
Yeah,
they only have a Graviton.
Few chances they had. They need to get this Graviton. It needs to be a huge Graviton.
Eggs drops
There,
in.
here comes the Supercharger. That's going to be brutal as Eggs goes down.
AFA mate is looking for the Graviton Surge. Does
Graviton Surge
not
comes
pull the
down.
Mercy and picks up to Belsima, falls to res. Penetration comes in the tire. Penetration with 3 and just shuts them out. It was just...
Never even got a foot on the point. That is an absolute shutout.
0-0.
We're talking about absolute shutouts. The team with the Bastion main is the one that gets shut out. You know, you don't really expect that kind of comp to shut you out so much, especially when you're kind of the team that was expected to shut out like that. So again, they look like making a very similar defensive comp. A Torbjorn, a Junkrat, a Mei instead of the Symmetra possibly, or instead of the Hanzo. But Implicit does actually move back to the Zenyatta. Meanwhile, on the attack, we have, seems like Hyperdimension's normal comp at this point. Nightfog on the Winston, Lucky Doki playing Mercy, SK on Farah, Damas on Hanzo, Warus Effect on Diva, and assuming penetration either on Junkrat or some sort of off healer. It's a very similar defensive comp as well. Torb, Symmetra, Mercy, Zenyatta, Junkrat, and Orisa. They have to full hold here, and this is the comp you run if you want to full hold, really. Especially
the best that they can possibly do is tie here. If we tie, we go to what do we go to?
Best of 1 control, I believe.
Best of 1 on. I'm gonna say Oasis because best of 1 on Oasis is the way to go.
Best of 1 Oasis.
Executing pre-combat routine. Optimizing strategy.
Yeah, the best they can possibly do is a best of 1 on Oasis, which might not work out too well for them. However, we did see them take a map on Lijiang Tower, so it's absolutely as possible for them to win this.
They have to full hold here against a team that has been rolling them with the dive quite commonly. The team that has kind of been proven they are probably the stronger team on the attack than they are on defense, but after that full hold, that might be questioned. So we have a Symmetra set up directly at the choke. They're trying to shut out the push from Hyperdimension, the team that is 1-0 up and only has to get 33% at this point to win the game. Nightfrog jumps right over, right onto Belsima, tickling her down, now onto a Driss. Does get taken out
Eggs
by
also, SK is also on the point alone with Implicit now. He goes down.
Loses a 1v1 with Zenyatta there, but Dumbass, look what Dumbass is doing. He picks off a Driss, picks off drops, and does eventually go to 8 of Fate Mate, and now Warus Effect himself going in, going up to high ground. Isolated, this Diva is back, going directly for the point. It's maybe trying to do some sort of back cap, trying to maybe support penetration, but now they're doing a pincer attack on the point. Penetration from the right, Loki Doki from the right as well. Nightfrog
taking a lot of damage. Loki Doki goes down as well. Looks like this push is not going to be working out for him.
Looks like they did go for some
We're
sort
going to pause since it looks like Belisma DC'd.
Yeah, they went for some sort of weird pincer attack. They attacked from 3 different angles on the point, but they didn't engage at the same time and just kind of got picked off one by one. But SK does pick off Implicit. That could mean a lot, because Implicit and Belsima aren't going to be there for a very short amount of time, especially when he picks up Eggs as well. SK is soloing this point. It's basically a 1v4 at this point. SK, with his team coming in, War's affecting Domas taking the high ground. SK realizes his team is back, and now they're going to be engaging with a massive man advantage to SK's Farah play. Domas picks up AF Fame, but this man advantage is only stronger as the turret goes down from drops. They do not have a teleport for Symmetra. They don't even have a Symmetra. Belsima gets trapped. Belsima is isolated, picked up by SK, and then this one's going to be captured now. It's going to start to tick up. A Driss trying to contest. Taken out by SK, is Implicit left. SK with a barrage, knocking them off a point. And now at this point, with 5 people, it's taking up slowly. X is not going to make it, and they capture it. And 2-0 to Hyperdimension.
Final score 1-0.
So Hyperdimension take it 2-0.
Play of the match.
We're going to be seeing Penetration picking up the play of the game.
This is the best of 3. Our victors are Hyperdimension. We'll have to check in on the results of the other match to see who Hyperdimension is facing next.
Lovely 3-man tire shutdown. Probably what was maybe the most promising push for Dragon Balls. They did have that Graviton available. They did have, I believe, also the I can't remember what it was, but they had the Resurrection available as well, which really, you know, they could have possibly won in that fight, but that Draco tire from Penetration really did shut them down.
Okay, so we're going to check in on Creatix and the results of the other pug, see who Hyperdimension is facing next. I'll be right back.
So, yes, as Third goes off to check the other result, we see Hyperdimension taking it 2-0. Great play from a lot of players on Hyperdimension. Dragon Ball Z did have some moments with them, did get some good raises from Belsima. Drops never failed to entertain after the Drist. But on the other side of Hyperdimension, they seem to just out-mechanically skill the other team. SK doing some lovely work on the Faro there, really just shutting out the enemy team. We saw on that last point boss guy, him basically 1v4ing the entire team with Dragon Balls. And then we saw Penetration as well. That seeming Junkrat main just decimated the entire team. Was never really shut down that often. Got many good tires and kills onto eggs on the Winston. So we're going to be seeing Hyperdimension in the next caster game. The next caster game being the final of the OverPUGS. We have 4 teams in the NA event today. We had 2 teams on EU. And we're doing a single elimination bracket with a third place match. We're seeing Dragon Balls in the third place match and Hyperdimension going to the finals. Yeah, so Dragon Balls, gonna say goodbye to them. Dragon Ball Z do go into that third place, as I said, and Hyperdimension. We're gonna be seeing more of them in the final. We're gonna be seeing more Penetration, Nightfrog, Lukidoki, SK, and Damas. And War's Effect versus the team that wins the other game between Burrito and One Pierce. One Pierce being Sifrix, Discotheque, Fenris, Lucas Pie, So Suave, and Stardust, and Burrito being Freakout, Japes of Wrath, Lulu, Peanut, Swift, and Symmetra, also known as Soleil.
It's going to be a little bit before the other match is done. They're currently on their second map, as we were, but that was a 2-0 instead of 2-1. So if they go 2-1, it might be another couple minutes. Until then, what do we do?
Until then, we can talk about the Scrub Cup.
We could talk about the Scrub Cup. Or we could sub me in and I have fun killing people.
You could have fun killing people, but I feel like I feel like the people need to be educated though.
It's true.
So, Third, what is the Scrub Cup?
What is the Scrub Cup? The Scrub Cup is a place where scrubs can be scrubs, and it doesn't matter how scrubby they are, they still will have a chance to win a tournament. Unlike most tournaments where there's top 500 and the Grandmasters just winning everything.
So,
Scrub Cup, 2500 SR and below. If you are 2500 SR and below, you can sign up for the Scrub Cup, a solo queue tournament where you get placed on even teams and you fight to become the best and win the tournament.
So, yeah, as that said, 2,500 SR and below, you get matched with a coach. They teach you everything they know. They teach you how to play Overwatch competitively. And then you go on and play in the Scrub Cup tournament. I believe it's over 2 weekends. And
7 points.
the winner takes home the Scrub Cup prize of nothing.
Let's see. Where did Critics go? He's still muted.
So yeah, we're going to be seeing more of Hyperdimension. If you are just tuning in, we've just watched Hyperdimension versus Dragon Ball Z, which is one of our semi-final matches of this week's North American OverPUGS. We have 4 teams facing off in a single elimination bracket being made up of players from all across the Scrub Cup server, staff members, players, community figures, and what have you. They all come along. It's open to anyone of any SR. And they are sorted into even teams. So we just saw the first game. 2-0 in favour of Hyperdimension. 2-0 over Dragon Ball Z. On Hyperdimension, we saw some great players from Penetration and from SK. Penetration being a Junkrat main and SK being a Grandmaster healer main, switching onto a DPS role instead. So, in a few minutes, we will be tuning into a final, which is Hyperdimension versus the winner of the other semi-final game, that's Burrito and One Piece. We will also have a third place match, which won't be streamed. It will be Dragon Ball Z versus the loser of One Piece versus Burrito, which are our other 2 teams in the tournament. So, we are still waiting on the other match being One Piece versus Burrito, as I said. It looks like possibly Burrito may have won. Nothing confirmed yet from the host of the other game. But it looks as if someone left the One Piece channel. So possibly we could be seeing Burrito versus Hyperdimension in the final. Never mind, I think. I'm not entirely sure what's going on right now. It looks like One Piece versus Burrito is a 1-1 game.
Yes.
So it looks like Burrito won the map and One Piece won the map. We could actually cast the final map if we wanted to. It looks like we're going to be doing a drop-in cast. So we're going to be dropping in on the 3rd map of One Piece.
Oh, we're dropping in on 3rd? Wait.
3rd map, so it's gone 1-1.
Wait, so what are we doing? Where's... Can you get me invited to the game then?
I am not in the game, but we'll have to find out what's happening in a minute, I think.
Ah, we can drop in cast. Perfect. So, in that case, someone give me an invite.
We need to require an invite. So yes, we've just finished one of the semi-finals. We're going to be dropping into a the other semi-final. It is a 1-1 game. Just going to be dropping on the 3rd map here. One Piece and Burrito. One Piece made up of Sifrix, Discotech, Fenrir, Slick as Pie, So Suave, and Stardust, and Burrito being made up of Freakout, Japes of Wrath, Lulu, Peanutter, Swift, and Symmetra, also known as Salele, and I believe Symmetra is actually a Mercy player.
Yes, you should definitely get me an invite to that game. Are you yet?
We do need an invite, yeah. So, as we wait for the next matchup, just to introduce myself again, I am HaVee, and I am accompanied by Third.
Yes, that's me, Third.
That's Third. So, it's gonna be a while, I'm not sure how long, for the 3rd map. So it really does depend on what One Piece and Burrito want to do, if they want to invite the casters or if they do not.
Now arriving at Elix.
Have you gotten an invite to the game yet?
I have. We are going. Looks like we're going to be able to go into the other semi-final.
Unable to join custom game. Game may be full. You might need to add another spectator slot.
There are multiple.
I'm in a group with you, but I'm not in the game.
More technical difficulties.
That's fun.
I mean, the Scrub Cup isn't just a Scrub Cup in terms of the players, it's a Scrub Cup for the casters. It's
Yes.
my first casting experience, first casting experience in a year.
I'm good at the game. I'm not good at casting.
I'm average at the game and I'm now good at casting.
What
So,
map?
I believe the map we're going into is Ikamall. This is one Pierce versus Burrito. Currently 1-1 in the series. We're just dropping in to the third map. On the side of Burrito, we have League of Lulu, Peanuts, Symmetra, Swift, Freakout, and Japes of Wrath. And on one Pierce, we have Fenris, Slickers Pie, Discotexo, Suave, Stardust, and Sifrix.
Still unable to join custom game. Game may be full. I guess I'm not able to join? Question mark?
Just trying to add third to the custom game, can't put together.
Leave the group. Try and add me now.
I actually can't invite anyone.
Who owns the game? Because that's their fault. You don't have internet. You won't have invite permissions.
So you have to drop third into the custom game. I can't actually invite him for some reason because Overwatch is Overwatch. Can you come now?
No, I can't. No. So you don't have permission to invite people, so you can't get me into the game. Try inviting me. Like, click on one of the empty spots and invite me. Or do you not have permission?
Not permission to.
Well,
What can I do?
I guess continue casting, solo cast, and let me know.
I've got one more chance.
Get one more chance.
I think there's one way of doing it. Stay in the group. Rejoin his group, it might work. Yeah, so technical difficulties.
So I
Classes
have
can't
not.
actually be added to the game.
Yeah, so you'll just have to solo cast until
Just
something
wait,
starts working.
just wait. I have one idea because I'm not in the game either.
You have another idea, okay? What's this?
have. I think let's just make the custom game ourselves, I guess.
Aren't they already in the match?
No. It's fine.
I mean, that would definitely work.
Looks like finally we might actually be able to get into a match. Possibly, maybe.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Perhaps this will be a bit more balanced if we don't have a GM on one side.
Of course, that was SK being the GM.
Yes,
He let
SK
me-
was a GM in that match.
Yeah, SK was the GM.
He's a Lucio main, however, he showed us a very useful and important soldier and Pharah that helped his team win.
So I'm just setting up the custom game now. Looks like we'll be getting into it as soon as possible. The Scrub Cup production team is sorry for the delay. So yes, to catch up on what was happening, we have just dropped in on a 1-2-1 game. This is the other semi-final. What we just watched was the first. This is the second. So we're going to be looking at this specific custom game, Burrito versus One Piece. It's 1-1 right now. Our third map is Eichenwald, I believe. And so just need One Piece to ready up.
They are ready.
So we are ready. We're going to go into the game. The map of Eichenwald as a decider.
Traveling to Eichenwald.
So, Eichenwald. We haven't seen any of these teams so far 1-1. No idea what they're going to run. What do you expect to be running Eichenwald though?
I would guess that attacking team's probably going to run a dive comp, but I don't expect someone to run a defensive dive comp on this map. It can be a good map for a defensive dive comp, but it takes a lot of coordination, which I don't expect that either of those teams will choose to run.
And it looks like you are kind of right. Peanuts are on the side of Burrito, picking up Reinhardt, then maybe Winston. Japes are wrapping up a soldier. Swift on the DV. Yeah, they are running triple tank League Lulu on the Xiaomi. On the other side, the side of One Piece on the attack, we're going to have Fenrir on the Pharah, Sifrix on the Tracer, so Suave on the Winston, Diva picking up by Discotheque, Stardust on the Mercy, and Zekas Pile on the Lucio, so they're picking a normal default dive comp with Far Mercy on this map.
Yeah, very standard composition, especially for maps that Fire Mercy is good on for dive comp. We'll see how it works out for them, considering they're running against a similarly standard 3-tank comp. The only questionable thing about the 3-tank comp is they choose to run Mercy instead of Anna, which is an uncommon choice. Her less healing than Anna can make that a little bit difficult. However, I would expect that with the Zenyatta instead of a Lucio, they would still be able to get a lot of healing out there. It'd probably get res up pretty quickly. We'll see how it works out for them. They're also running a soldier, which would probably help them out against the Pharah.
Peanuts going an aggressive charge with his eyes are going right in deep.
Way far in. He might die here. Looks like he's going to make it out, though.
It does make his way out with the shield up. Quite a risky play to begin with. Peanut definitely one who is not scared of making the riskier plays here. Now, both teams kind of play each other. Dive team looking for an opportunity to engage. So Suave does use his jump there to reposition, but Fenrir picks up free gun.
Frequent goes down by Fenrir's Pharah. Mercy almost goes down the back, but Cyphrix goes down to League of Lulu.
Gunnar on the dive, but Fenrir still getting more up here. Support by
Fenrir
Stardust on
picks
this Mercy.
off the other support this is not great for one period. No, not great for Burrito. Burrito's Reinhardt goes down. Soldier about to go down. Actually, he's going to make it out for now. Probably not for too much longer.
Family really definitely up here. Really undestined. Normally looking up to the sky for him. Picks up Big Lulu. He's bullying Freak out into the corner here. Trying to decimate him. Can't seem to get much though. Eventually he does die.
Freak out lives,
Two
but
Seafricks.
not for long. As Swift swiftly goes down to
Just
Farah.
force that up, man.
Spamming a lot.
And now Peanuts are left on the point, trying to swing, trying to get for as long as he can, fourth time lower and lower and lower.
He
He's
might get
getting
Nerf
there.
Shatter up, but it's not going to be
Yeah,
worth anything.
He doesn't. There seems to be some people in test range, especially James of Wrath. He'll be jumping on the point and he's going to test it. They do get a tick, but at this point they are just trying to extend the point, trying to burn their time, trying to make them work for it a bit more. And James of Wrath staying along, but too long at this point. Forces Femre to use his Rocket Barrage there.
We also see League of Lulu switch from the Zarya over to the McCree. That might help them out a bit. They have less tank health to heal and a bit more bursty hit scan damage to try and take out the Pharah and the Mercy. Plus, it might help out with the Tracer a bit. You paused?